All right, guys. Let me tell you, man. Welcome to tonight's. Not tomorrow night's, but tonight's. Welcome to everything that we have going on tonight, guys. To our special conversation, and guess what? We have none other than our newest bronzes to actually grace the stage with us tonight, guys. Absolutely incredible for me to be able to share the stage with this couple, man. When I tell you the dynamic duo, you guys will absolutely not believe the impact that this husband and wife team has absolutely had on our company. It's been such an incredible journey for them thus far, guys. 30 days, guys. Their first 30 days, they're already bronze, and not only are they bronze, but they're actually on their way. Excuse me, they are on their way to becoming silver and possibly gold and then platinum and so on and so forth, because all of the great things that they have going on. I want to say thank you for Dr. Alcantar that was on with his team, guys. I had an opportunity to jump on at the tail end of everything that they had going on. It was absolutely flat out exciting for me to be able to listen in and just to suck up some of that knowledge that Dr. Alcantar was actually sharing with us, along with his aunt, who's doing some fantastic things and all of the great things that are going on in the California market, guys. So guess what? If you know folks that are in California, you want to get in contact with them, because myself, Queen Fabi, and all of our corporate team, we're getting ready to start pouring some serious energy into that California marketplace. So if you guys know anybody who knows anybody that might know somebody that's in that California marketplace, you definitely want to start plugging them in, because guess what? When you have Dr. David Alcantar that's coming from Mexico and he's getting ready to pour some gasoline on what's going on in California, guess what? People will come from miles around just to watch it burn, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to get your folks involved. You want to get them excited. You want to get them invited to what's getting ready to happen in California. I'm flat out excited because I get an opportunity to lock arms with Queen Fabiola, man. Me and her, can you imagine that, right? We get so excited, we lock arms and we do some fantastic things. And guess what? It also gives me an opportunity to get my Spanish brushed up so I can be, a little bit more bilingual than I am. Like I said, I speak a little bit of Spanish. I understand more than I speak, but if I can have an opportunity to actually stand on the side of greatness and be able to learn from as many people as I can, it's going to just make my position, my Spanish, that much greater. And I'm flat out excited about what's going on. So guess what, guys? I want to say welcome to tonight's call. The energy is absolutely fantastic. We have some of the greatest folks that are on the line tonight. I see so many people plugging in from so many different places across the United States and outside of the United States as well. So we got United States represented on here tonight. This is the first time we actually had Mexico represented on here tonight. We also have our Spanish-speaking community, folks in Peru and all over the Spanish-speaking communities represented tonight. We have Canada represented tonight. We have all over the Caribbean represented tonight. So guess what, guys? Tonight is the first night that we've actually had 100% a global presence on tonight's call. So I want to say thank you for each and every one of you guys that are still plugged in tonight, and especially for folks that are in the Spanish-speaking community that stayed plugged in, that absolutely that speaks English as well, and might have some English-speaking people that want to plug into what it is that we have. So it is my pleasure, and I'm 100% pleased to introduce the couple that we have here tonight. Let me tell you something, guys. When you hear this gentleman's story and you hear him talk about what it is that this company has to offer, it's going to flat out blow you away. Because guess what? It's not coming from the corporate standpoint. It's coming from the field, by the field. So it will definitely touch exactly what you need to touch. Why? Because it's coming from one of you. Right? It's not coming from us. We're supposed to say great things about the company. But when it's coming from somebody that's just like you, it's a whole different feel. So what I want to do is welcome each and every one of you guys to the call tonight. I want to say thank you for all the folks that are still plugged in. I want to say thank you to all of the folks that are just now plugging in. And I want to say thank you to all the folks that have guests that are plugging in as well, because guess what? I still see people still logging in right now as we speak. So we're talking about a global presence, guys. So guess what? Let me get out of the way of greatness. I want to introduce to the line a husband and wife couple that's going to do some fantastic things with this company. Let me tell you something, guys. They know 100% of the facts of the business. First and foremost, they love having fun. They love making money, right? And guess what? They love helping people. But what I love about them the most, guys, is 100%. They're 100% down to earth. So without further ado, I want to bring to the forefront Mr. Brian Singleton. Are you there, sir? If you're there, just unmute your line. I see you there. Just unmute.
Can you hear me, Mr. Trahan?
There you go. There you go. You can also open up your camera too, because you are actually a co-host on the line tonight. So you can open up your camera, and therefore we can see you as well.
Did that do it?
I see your camera open, but it's just black, like you need to turn your light on or something.
Let me see. I'm trying to see where the light is, Susan.
I have no idea.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If we can't see you, that's okay. We can hear you. That's the most important part. So you guys, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about your story, and then we're gonna jump right into this presentation.
You know, first of all, I'd like to thank you. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Trahan. Also, a shout out to Mrs. Lydia McKinney. You know, y'all are actually corporate, but I know personally that you spend all your time in the field, you know, and I know that you started in the field and haven't forgot where you came from, and you have expressed that in every shape, form, or fashion. So I would not be in order to not say that my wife and I are indebted to you. And Ms. McKinney, our friends are indebted to you. You know, it was a lot of talk from the beginning, and your walk and talk matched up, and I don't take that lightly, you know. We didn't just get in business, you know, we got in business for ourselves, but we didn't get in business by ourselves. So and although you spoke about us, I know that you can plaster a wall with your accolades, and we don't take that lightly, sir. We have to thank you all for that total support, you know, for the top and the bottom. You know, many have heard my testimony, heard me and my wife talk, you know, and it all remains brand new, you know, in that we lived through that bad health, that diabetes. We lived through that lapse of memory, that fatigueness, you know, knots in my neck, several shots every day for diabetes that went along with each meal I took, you know, high blood pressure medicine, you know, in and out of the emergency room from this hospital to that hospital, you know, and when I first, Sanki was first brought to me, I had no idea of the transformation that was about to take place in my health, you know, but to move short, because to move along ahead, and the things that took place where that shot from 4 to 6 shots a day has turned into one shot every now and then, to the diabetic, to the high blood pressure medicine being cut in half, you know, to being able to sleep now in a way that I hadn't been able to do it for 30 plus years, you know. It's a no-brainer. Sanki has been nothing short of miraculous in our life, you know. There's no words to really explain it. I still get caught up when I just think about from where we went from that time to now, sir.
Wow, wow, wow. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. And just share with the folks on the line, because tonight, guys, we're gonna have a real conversation. We're gonna take it for a little bit different than we usually do, but we're definitely gonna let Mr. Singleton present the information for you guys. But just tell us, you know, Mr. Singleton, when you first came on with this company and you were looking to help yourself from a health and wellness standpoint, and I know you talked about you being able to sleep and not being able to sleep for 30 years. I don't think people really understand the magnitude of exactly what that means and how that affected your health, right? Because rest is when your body recovers, right? So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but just explain to the folks that are on the line tonight, you know, how important just you being, but if nothing else happened with this company, nothing else, like if it didn't do anything else for you, just explain to them how important it is for you to be able to rest at night.
You know, I spent the last 30 plus years, I'm a Gulf War vet and otherwise, and the things I was exposed to and things that took place, you know, for me to, I never saw in the past 30 years of literally just going to bed with my wife, you know, typical person, they'll go to bed with their wife, they'll have dinner, they'll go to bed. But for me, it wasn't that way. You know, if I went in the bed, I was gonna perhaps kick out the bed with tossing and turning all night, looking at the ceilings, dealing with PTSD, things of that sort. You know, it was never ending. You know, so I was always prepared that my wife was gonna spend some time with me before she went to bed, and then I'd be up the rest of the night. You know, always up, no matter what, couldn't sleep. You know, and then after being introduced to the product, I came home that particular night with the same thing in mind, you know, that I would be up, that I would be looking at the walls, that I'd be tossing and turning, you know. But I came home and I said to my wife, I said, baby, let's watch some Yellowstone together, cowboy show. I'm a bit of a country boy. And so my wife agreed that she would do so after she take care of a couple of things in the kitchen and some things in the restroom. So about 15 minutes later, my wife came forward and said, came forward and started turning the channels. And that's the last thing I remember. You know, I'm getting up and I'm looking through the picture window in the back part of my house and I'm seeing daylight. Now, I've saw daylight before, of course, but in the last 30 plus years, I saw that daylight going to sleep as opposed to waking up. And what else did I notice? Not only did I sleep, I rest, because with diabetic neuropathy, it's the equivalent of walking on bottle glass. The best way to explain it to those of you who don't know or not familiar with it, right? And you, when you're laying down, you're tossing and turning. But I didn't feel any of that. You know, the first night of only taking about 4 to 6 ounces of the product, right? I slept like a baby. I slept sound. Not only did I sleep, I got rest. And unfortunately, most diabetics don't sleep properly, and your body cannot repair if you don't sleep. If you don't sleep, you can't rest. If you don't rest, your body won't repair. You know, and in a short time, it's been tremendous because the last 40 some days of taking a product are better, right? Been the best 40 some days of rest in the last 30 plus years.
Wow, 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 wow. Super, super, super important. So guys, listen, guys, we're coming to you. We're not making any medical claims. We're not saying that we're a fix all for anything. But matter of fact, what we're saying is we help with everything. And any statements that you hear tonight, guys, are people's personal testimonies. Anything that you hear as it pertains to any income testimonies or anything like that, guys, it's 100% dependent on what your work ethic is, how hard you're willing to work, and that'll determine what your income is. So, you know, and like Mr. Singleton says, this is his story. This is his testimony. So we're not saying that we're going to fix anything at all, guys. We're not saying we're going to cure anything. We're not saying we're going to treat anything at all. But what we're saying is our formulations definitely, absolutely help with everything. So, you know, when we jump into this thing, Mr. Singleton, tell us why Sanki and why now for you.
Man, you know, it's actually a no-brainer at this point in time. You know, when I walked through the door the first time, I never forget when you were one of the first gentlemen I met at the front door, and just so happened, your situation was very similar to mine with diabetes, you know? And so you could identify with me, but even with that, I couldn't see help for me because of all the many things I had tried. So, you know, you ask yourself the question, why not today? Why not Sanki? Man, it's a no-brainer. You know, we live in a time, not just for diabetes, not just with cancer, but all the many things that are taking place with COVID. You know, it just makes good sense to put things in place. And most of the things that Sanki have is what people have been looking for the most in the last 2+ years. You know, so it just makes good sense to have it in place. You know, at this point, Sanki is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You know, it's not trying to prove anything. It's already proven. It's already done the homework.
Wow, 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 wow. So this is something that we have, guys, and you know, myself and Mr. Singleton, we're gonna step you through what it is that we're talking about tonight. You know, just from our own personal testimonies. Like I said, I'm Tim Trahan. I'm the international director of sales here for Sanki Global. In the Caribbean, they call me the international director of business development. And we're talking about, you know, unique technologies, epigenetics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, fermentation process, all of these things, and metabolites. All of these things are things that people talk about. These are now buzzwords in the health and wellness industry. These are the things that people talk about on several different levels, but not really understand. right? Our company is rooted in all of these things. We're rooted in this. It's not something that we just talk about. This is who we are, right? When we talk about epigenetics, we own the epigenetics society, if you will. When we talk about nanotechnology, we're talking about nanotechnology from a food source, not from a technological source, but from a food source, right? When you think about it, no, most people think about nanotechnology as their cell phones getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We're talking about a food source as being able to actually matriculate through your body with nanoparticles, 14 quadrillions nanoparticles feeding your cells, right? Biotechnology, buzzword. Big word, right? Fermentation process and metabolites. So when we talk about these things, Mr. Singletons, what does that mean to you?
You know, you talk about these different scientists that have came together with now epigenetics. You talk about nanotechnology. Hey, it's one of the biggest buzzwords on the planet, but everybody's talking about it. But Sanki has really put it in perspective. You know, then you have biotechnology. It's a no-brainer. Fermentation, the things they have done in the process they've done. We have no copycats. Nobody have been able to do this. They spoke about it, but Sanki has pulled it off. It's pulled it off because of all the thousands of people I've seen. You name that situation. This formula product is working 100% of the time and 100% of the people. And don't talk about the metabolites, you know, and for them to be able to put these 5 different areas together, man, it's just on a whole nother level. And the fact of how you've seen it works. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but they've done all the work. They're the doctors, they're the scientists, but I could see it in what took place after 30-some years of trying everything else plus, with very little, if any, results. This thing done in a day or two. I had more progress in a day or two than I had in 30 years. At least on the last 45 days, it's just been nothing short of impeccable.
Wow. And then we talk about powerful research network, guys. We're talking about, things that are moving globally. We're a global company. We have global exploits. We have farms all over the world, farms in Mexico where our cacao is actually harvested. We're talking about, the nanotechnology as it pertains to one of our big products, which is the Sanki, and we'll talk about these 5 products, and I'll let the Mr. Singleton kind of explain that to you. But we also got the farms in Spain, right? Alicante, Spain, where that's the largest plantation of olive trees in the world, and not for the olives, guys. It's for the plant system, for the root system, for the fermentation system, for the bacteria that's created when you have thousands and 2,000-year-old trees that are actually speaking to each other and doing all those things. We have farms in France, Dubai, and then of course we have our tea farms and stuff there in Japan where our technology networks are. So we have it all from seed to sale, guys. We manage the process to perfection, but not only do we manage that to perfection, guys, we control the entire process. So when you think about it from that standpoint, Mr. Singleton, when we say we have it from seed to sale, what does that mean to you?
It's simple. Once again, it's simple. I like that. Although it's basically KISS. They kept it super simple. They did what matters. And that they didn't leave it to chance to somebody else that would be uncontrolled or be packaged by someone else or take a cheaper way out. They spared no expense. It's evident. From the time that from this seed, right, to come up to handle every aspect of it. And it showed the control of it, and they were proud to put their name on this, right? From seed to sale it's just, it's a no-brainer. And that they made sure that none of the phase or none of the aspect of it would be left by chance. They wanted to be overseeing it with their own eyes, their own people, everything in-house. It showed when they came out with their first product after 40 years. Not a Me Too company, but a company that's making sure that they take each and every person's situation serious one by one.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. So now, when we talk about, conversation, a documentation beats conversation any day, right? And we have the documented proof of everything we talk about. We have the research manuals, guys. We have, the ONR manual, which is the auxiliary night reset. We'll talk about that in a minute. We have the research manual for the Orazide enzyme. We're going to talk about that as well. But the Inner 7 manual as well, guys. We're talking, excuse me, we're talking about award-winning systems, right? We're talking about pharmaceutical specialties. We're talking about, being able to have intelligent conversations from the most intelligent aspect, because guess what? We also in the PDR, which is the physician desk reference. And when we're able to talk about these things and we're able to document what we are, Blue Ocean Strategy Company just simply means we're in a lane by ourselves. It's just absolutely incredible. So when we have folks like Mr. Singleton, and by the way, if you guys don't know, he hasn't mentioned it yet, but I'm going to mention it for him. He's lost about 50 pounds, guys, in the last 30 days. Right. 50 pounds, right?
Almost 60 now.
Almost 60 pounds. So you're hearing it. So all he's doing is taking the products, guys. He's not doing anything special. He hasn't decided to just jump out there and start running marathons, although he used to run marathons, when he was at his optimal health. But all he's been able to do is take these formulas and is putting his body back in that state of what we like to call homeostasis. We have what we call the advanced delivery system, the kosher certifications, the BSCG. Now, for you guys that don't know that's on the line, guys, I'm a former professional athlete. And this was probably one of the biggest things that caught my attention. BSCG, which certifies us as drug-free. And the reason why I say that is because when I was playing professional sports, guys, I didn't even take cough medicine. Why? Because I knew it could possibly be one substance that was in that cough medicine that would cause me to get suspended if it was on a list of banned substances. But guess what? We're BSCG certified. And you're going to understand how important that is when we go to the next slide. And I'll let Mr. Singleton explain that to you. But when we're talking about Blue Ocean Strategy, guys, we're talking about the best of the best. We're talking about not a Me Too product. We're talking about Blue Ocean means we're in a lane by ourselves. That means I don't have to prove that what we have is better than what you're using, because I know that you're not using what we have. So like I said, guys, 50 plus years of scientific studies and research, 50 plus years, right? 40 years before we even introduce one product. And we're talking about in vivo and in vitro. So what does that mean? That means we've studied it in the lab and on people, right? So we're not talking about opinions, guys. We're talking 100% facts. But let's look at it, and I'll let Mr. Singleton speak to this part here. Who recommends us, Mr. Singleton?
And you see over 400,000 plus distributors and customers. I'm seeing people utilize this. If they utilize it, they coming back. No questions asked. The first time I took this product, my wife was there. She took it. In a short time, we saw results. I'm talking about would it been somebody 80 years old. We saw they're seeing results right away, and gotta have it. Getting in touch with it. We have a young man. He's about 27 years old. Right, played football. He's a clothing designer. He's also a rapper. He tried it the first time. He's like, oh my God, I feel some tingling. That's called circulation. That's called oxygen right away. 2,500 plus doctors, 2,500 plus doctors and counting. And I've met some of them like Dr. Del Grande is a brilliant gentleman, Dr. Taylor. I would like to meet him pretty soon, but these people are just, they sold because it just worked. They just work. These guys have names that are on a whole nother level, and they stake their name to this. That says something. 250 plus Olympic gold medalists and professional athletes and counting. And just to know that this caliber of people that have to get up and perform every day. It's not just every so often they perform. These people got to perform every day. Things have to take place every day for them to be able to work out on this particular level. And these gentlemen said, and these ladies said that we're going to utilize this. We're going to stake our trust on this, our career and our name on this. 2,500 plus.
Wow.
250 plus.
Wow. Now, when we talk about, health is the most important asset of any economy, right? And you being a Gulf War veteran, and you being a person that ran marathons and being at the Ultimate Health, you talking about 20-mile hikes with anywhere between 70 and 120 pound backpack on your back, and all of that good stuff. And to you to come home and be suffering from chronodegenerative illness like diabetes and high blood pressure. Tell us a little bit about what this statement means to you as far as health being the most important asset of any economy.
You know, sometimes it's painful to share, but I have to do it because I was set free by this product, not just for myself, but for the masses. And I promised God that I would share it, you know. And so I have to say that even though I was a recipient of the presidential award, uh, I was still in a whole nother way in my thinking and mind, even considering suicide. Because at the end of the day, when you living as though you're walking on bottle glass and you don't have your strength and you can't do the things, you don't feel like you protect your family like you once did, and you're gaining weight that you can't control and your kidneys are shutting down, it'll put you in places mentally you can't believe. So reality is your first asset is your health. Your first asset is inside of you. You see a many of Hershey's going back and forth, but you'll never see any of them pulling a U-Haul.
Mm, mm. Wow, 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 wow. So
Your first
basically,
asset
what
is your health is your first wealth.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So let's look at the products a little bit, guys. So we're talking about the Hasaki, which nourishes and vitalizes. We're talking nourishes. We're talking about the Balage, which means beautiful age, with vitalize and sustain. We're talking about the Inner Seven, which balances and connect, and then of course, the Chrome We Fire, and we know what that does for you. But this is the deal, guys. We're talking to a gentleman here, and he's actually helping us with our a conversation tonight, right? Because we decided to do it a little bit different. And this is a gentleman that lost over 50 pounds, and he's done it in a very short period of time. And guess what, guys? He didn't do anything special. Like I said, it's not like he just went and said, I'm gonna spend 2-3 hours in the gym every single day. I'm gonna go on these 20-mile hikes with my backpack. He just said, listen, I'm gonna make a lifestyle change. So when we talk about a lifestyle change, we're talking about Sanki Global. We're talking about the recreation of the digestive system outside of the body with these 4 formulas that we have. So I'm gonna let Mr. Singleton kind of talk about each one of these formulas and let you know how he uses them in his everyday life. So Mr. Singleton, I'm gonna turn it over to you. And the first product or formula that we're gonna talk about right now is the Hasaki. So go ahead on, sir. I'm gonna turn the floor over to you.
And where do I start? Where do I start with a Hasaki? You know, some people get it, and the first thing they think is that it's a protein, you know, and in a lot of ways it's that, but the protein is only the beginning. This particular product has 596 metabolites that take care of your gut, that take care of phase your gut. You see those nerves and curves and those little what look like bumps and whatnot, all those are different compartments. And I believe that at this particular point, that your gut have as much intelligence as your brain, you know. And I don't think that your brain control your gut. I believe that your gut control your brain, you know, and that these 596 metabolites are not there for any reason. You know, they there to keep you at optimum, not surviving but thriving. It's been proven over. It's been proven over. The boba that's in it, you know, revolutionary formula that can contain these 596 different metabolites for your gut and the cacao. Where do I start? You know, it is a no-brainer the way that this has been formulated. You know, and I'm and not just it working later on, but you seeing results right away. Some people within minutes of taking it. You know, it's a no-brainer. The thrive I had to get a hold of sugars or things I didn't need. I mean, in 2 days, they were gone. They were gone. You know, having to remind myself to eat because it was no longer about food. It was about nutrition and being nourished and restored by this. You're not hungry. You don't have those cravings, you know, which I got 60 pounds of loss to prove to that.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So if you guys look at this, guys, and just take a snapshot of what all of this does for you, we're talking about the protein absorption of 20%, guys. Let me tell you how important that is. We know that 20% more protein absorption is going to build 20% more muscle, which in turn is going to burn 20% more fat. So guess what? You know, even though that Mr. Singleton is not doing an extra exorbitant amount of exercise other than his daily path, guess what? That 20% more protein absorption is working in his body because it's helping his body burn 20% more fat. So if you look at each and every one of these sections, like Mr. Singleton said, your intestinal tract is broken down into 596 different parts. And that's why those 596 different metabolites are so important, because they're gonna feed each individual section in there with a different bacteria that your body needs to give you optimal gut health. And we know that most sickness, illness, and disease starts where? In your gut. So, you know, what Mr. Singleton is pretty much saying is he has figured out that if he has good gut health, everything else will follow. So let's jump into the next formula that really just changed Mr. Singleton's life, which is the Belage, which stands for beautiful age. And you guys look at it, it has the Orezide enzyme 3, and we've actually upgraded to a different Orezide enzyme because this particular flagship formula is constantly evolving, which is 100% natural. And let me tell you something, guys, when we're talking about strengthening the immune system, increasing the energy production, and all of the other things that it's doing for you, the 3 basic factors that you need to know about this particular formula is it increases circulation, decreases inflammation, and helps the body deal with the mucus. So tell us a little bit about how this has affected your life, Mr. Singleton, when you start taking this Belage.
You know, my just in one particular area, I was at stage 4 kidney disorder where I was told my kidneys were functioning somewhere between 22 to 30, right, Susan? Right. Between 22 to 30. And in a week or so, I probably gained over 20 some pounds of fluid because your body won't get rid of it, and just miserable, and it affects you in ways that you couldn't believe. And I had tried every single thing under the sun. I was prescribed 80 milligrams, Susan? 80 milligrams of water pill, and it had very little effect, if any. You know, constantly gaining weight and miserable, couldn't get around. Man, on my first day of taking this product, I could see that the Belage was helping me to release that from my body. You know, and now just on a whole nother level. And the only thing that had ever changed was these Sanki products. Everything else had remained the same. You know, you cannot. I don't care how much you're in the gym. I don't care how much you work out. 20% of what you do at the gym and 80+% is what you do with nutrition, you know. And what took place with the Belage enabled me, as well as the other 3 products, to relieve this horrible mucus from my body, to relieve all this extra fluid from my body, you know, and running off other toxins with it.
Wow. Wow. That's absolutely incredible, guys. So we're talking about, you know, a gentleman that's dealing with diabetes and other chronic degenerative illnesses as a result of him being a Gulf War veteran and so on and so forth. And guess what? Like I said, this is not somebody that's outside running marathons or doing 5 to 10 miles every day. But we're talking about a 60-pound weight loss just by incorporating these formulas in his system. And you know, like I said, guys, the 3 things that causes sickness, illnesses, and disease is inflammation, lack of circulation, and the body's inability to deal with mucus. And once he started taking these formulas, guys, the very first night, he just started seeing results. So this is what this particular formula actually does for you. And then, of course, guys, we got the Inner 7. And I'll talk about the Inner 7, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Singleton to actually talk about the next formula, which is our Chrome Wheat. But the Inner 7, guys, is our award-winning formula that's loaded with minerals. It helps the body deal with all kind of things that it needs to deal with. Why? Because most people aren't really sick, but what they are is suffering from mineral deficiency. So when we're talking about mineral deficiency, the building block of mineral is magnesium. So most folks are just simply suffering from magnesium deficiency. But not only do we have the magnesium, we have the sodium, the potassium, 100% natural, improves natural defense mechanisms, contributes to proper pH balance. I'll come back to that and tell you how important that is. But it also stimulates relaxation and revitalization, improves intestinal transit, provides essential minerals for your body. So let me tell you something, guys. We're talking about the ultimate in minerals, right? At one point in time, it was all about minerals. People were talking about, hey, I need to go to the General Nutrition Center or the vitamin shop. I got to load up on minerals. Well, guess what? All the minerals that you need are right here in this packet. And that pH balance is so important because why? That pH balance is putting our bodies in what? a system of balance. It's alkalining the body, right? But not too alkalining, putting it at the perfect pH balance, because we know sickness, illness, and disease cannot reside in an alkaline body. So this is absolutely essential. But this is the last one, right? When we're talking about our suite of formulas, guys, we're talking about everything that the body needs to work in harmony. And we're going to talk about, the Chrome Wheat Fire, which has the green tea polyphenols, the ONR, which is the oxylianite reset, which just simply means it puts your body at rest when it needs to rest. Perfected with black bean, olive, rosemary, and green tea, 100% natural, right? We're talking about being able to put the body in a state where it's breaking down and metabolizing your food correctly. It's not doing things that it's not supposed to do, but metabolize your food correctly. So guess what? We know that sugar, starch, and fats can only be metabolized a certain way, and anything that can be metabolized, where does it go? Into your bloodstream. So when we're talking about going into your bloodstream, we're talking about the body having diabetes. We're talking about the body, having high blood pressure and all these chronic degenerative illnesses. But guess what? Remember what he said. This gentleman had not been able to sleep straight through the night for 30 plus years. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the Chrome Wheat Fire, Mr. Singleton.
Wow. Where do I begin? This product is just on a whole nother level. It's just you just can't believe what's in those sachets. It's just hard to believe. But once you try, it's just on a whole nother level that you fix yourself a warm cup of this, and 8 ounces, and it goes down real smooth. It's almost like a bit of a warm wine, and everybody who tastes it like, man, I like this. But bigger than the taste is what it does, the formulation of it, that the minute you take it, you begin to relax. What I like about it, it'll put you to sleep, but it don't rush you to sleep. You can perform with it, and the minute you get ready to lay down, your body wind down in a way that it will in no other way. I had no idea whatsoever. Now I can't think about going to sleep. I cannot think about going to bed or during my night without that being the last thing I drink, the last thing I put on my mouth. And man, it's just it's like I'd pay the company to drink it. And that you take a sip of this and a couple of sips, a cup of drink, and you finish with it. And then when you get ready to lay down, not only do you sleep, you rest, and you won't get up unless your alarm goes off. You won't get up unless unless you got to use the restroom. You're going to sleep through the night, and you're going to go into another realm of sleep. You're going to go into a restful sleep. When you get up in the morning, your feet hit the ground, you up and running, you ready to go. Where do you start with a product like this? How could you, it's really no words to do it justice to explain all the great things it do.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, this is our suite of formulas, right? For all you guests that are on the line tonight, this is what we have. We don't have 1,000 different products, right? We got 4 products that was designed to recreate the digestive system outside of the body. And once you fix what needs to be fixed outside of the body and you put it back into the body, you're creating the perfect situation, what we like to call homeostasis, or pretty much that's the scientific term, putting the body back in balance. So what we're going to talk to you about tonight, guys, is what's your plan B? Like let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Like we know what our plan A is. That's the 9 to 5. That's that 40-40-40 plan that they lied to us about. Go to work for 40 hours a day for 40 years to retire at 40% of less than what you couldn't make it at 100% of. So, when we're talking about this plan B, guys, it's absolutely imperative and important that you understand that not only do you need to have a plan A, but your plan B is equally as important. Because we see what's going on in the economy today. We see what's happening, right? Jobs are going away and a lot of them aren't coming back. So if you don't have a plan B, what are you going to do if your industry and your job is the one that tends to go away? So what we say is don't wait for the economy to change, guys. You got to create your own economy. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Singleton, and you can just tell us about about the timing and how important it is to participate in the Sanki trend.
Well, Mr. Trahan, it's just, self-explanatory in that we look at what took place in this day and time. We never would have thought that we'd all been placed back at home, You know, no matter where we've been on our job, 10 months, 10 years, or 40 years, we were at home behind closed doors. You know, some people, when those doors did open, they didn't have a job anymore, you know, but those people who had a little something in place, you know, they could sustain to some degree, you know. So I say don't wait till they give you a pink slip, give them one and get in one, you know. And you could be the Michael Jordan at what you do. That's not the most important thing. See, it's not the T, and Mike had a lot of talent, but it's not the T in talent, it's the T in timing. You know, we in this area with nanotechnology, which is $42 billion, right? Then we combined with biotechnology, which is another $370 billion, right? And Lord, don't talk about the well-being valued at 4.2 trillion, which equals Sanki trend. It's a no-brainer, you know. With a pie this big, you know, oftentimes we say we need a good slice of that financial pie. With a pie this big, you don't need a slice. You just run your knife through the middle, and your kids, and your kids, and your kids, and your kids can live off that thing called residual. Now, if you don't understand what residual is, I suggest that you learn or ask somebody, because once you understand residual, you walk through a brick wall to get some.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. So when we talk about Sanki going to work with for you guys, you know, not only are we in the intelligent force of nutrition, but we're the intelligent business. So, you know, we're talking about, you know, not worrying about having to store your product. We have that taken care of. All the training will be done for us, by us, for you, for you and your teams. And then eventually you'll be training your own teams as well, because you're going to get the proper training. We got the delivery methods, we have the operations, all the billing is taken care of by us. You know, we got the research and the development of unique technologies, call center, online store, distribution, information technologies, online administration. What we say is let us support you, right? If you're opening a traditional business, these are all of the things that you're going to have to worry about, but not here with us, not with Sanki, right? We're talking about be your own business, guys. Minimize expenses without risk. Leverage the resources. We have everything for you. So all you got to do is just lock arms with the right people, and you'll get the right results. So let's look at the next slide a little bit, Mr. Singleton, and tell us a little bit about, you know, what it is that this company and this excellent company is doing for people.
You know, reality is, you know, I heard Oprah said that you need to put yourself in a position where you write your own check. And with Sanki, you can write your own check. You know, if you need 500 extra a month, they have that. You know, if you need 500 extra a month, they have that. But if you need 5,000 extra a month, they have that as well. You know, you got $70+ million in commission paid out. $70+ million in commission paid out to the field. That says it all. 92+ trips to Paris. Come on, guys, who doing that? Nobody. 28+ trips to Japan. You know, 130 lifestyle bonuses. You know, who's next? You know, my wife and I have cash checks since we've been in, and the checks do cash, and they pay out weekly. And that's weekly WEEKLY, not WEAKLY. You know, there is a difference, you know. Mm-hmm. And so we can say great things in a short time, and the best is yet to come.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible, guys. So what we want to do is we just want to show you, you know, how do you start your business, right? The Singletons came in and they follow what we call as a 30-day blueprint, and they followed it to the T. And matter of fact, you know, we talk probably much daily on what it is they need to do to be successful, but it's super easy, guys. It's 3 easy steps, right? You come in and you get your first customer, which makes you binary qualified. Excuse me, you get 2 distributors, first customer, which makes you a certified distributor. You get 2 business partners, what makes you binary qualified, because binary just simply means 2. And then you teach them to do the same. And if you're able to do that, guys, you could just build an astronomical business. But on top of that, guys, let me just share some information with you that's so important, that just makes it so easy for you to come in and earn. It's 3 types of income that you make in this industry. You got fast money. You got now money, you have fast money, and then you have lasting money, or what we like to call long-term or residual. You know, now money is the money that you can make as soon as you come in. When you make an investment, you want to come back in and know you can get your investment back ASAP, right? If you're talking about, you know, in traditional business, you think about a McDonald's, you're talking about 2 million to get started. You're talking about $1 million up front and then $1 million in assets and reserves, right? And that's not going to guarantee you that you're going to make that back. And if you do make it back, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years to do so, because the average McDonald's owner only makes, about $200,000 to $350,000 a year. So you figure 2 million, and you're making, let's say at the most $300,000 a year, you can figure out how many years it'll take you to get your money back off that investment. But what we're saying is, guys, we got a low barrier of entry, but not only do we have a low barrier of entry, but we have a right now money that you can make your money back right now. How do you do it? 3 customers and your product is free. So for every 3 online customers with 50 points, guys, you're going to earn, your product free, and then you're going to get free product that you can retail. So every 3 guys is going to give you an average of $100. So 3 customers is $100 to you. 6 customers is 200. 9 customers is 300. 12 customers is 400. 15 customers is 500. So on and so forth. So, and then again, guess what? It's unlimited. So that's what I like to call, our upfront money, our right now money, the money that you can make right away. Because if you don't want to build a team, you don't have to. And that's what I love about it. You don't have to build a team, but what you can do is build a business. And that's what this is about, building business, right? And if I could show you how to build a business, what will stop you? Absolutely nothing. And then, of course, we got first order bonuses and all of those things. So what does that mean? That means when you bring people into the business, they decide to lock arms with you, you're going to earn 40% of the points that's generated when they get started. So if they get started with a 200-point pack, 40% of 200 is $80. 100-point pack, 40% of 100 points is $40. So that's 120. And then let's say you got a couple of folks that decide they want to get started underneath your folks, you're going to earn 10% of that. So in this particular example, 200-point packs there, that's an additional $10. So you just made $140 that quick. Boom, just like that. So that's the fast money, which we like to call leverage money, right? No leverage, no life. If you don't have leverage in your life, you're being leveraged by someone who does. Okay, so definitely that. And then, of course, we got the residual income. That's what we like to call the lasting money. And how does that work, guys? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All it means is you continue to build a team. Those teams continue to build customers. If you got a team of 100, they build 300 customers. Each person gets 3 customers. That's $2,000 residual, right? Your team continues to grow to 200 with 3 customers each. That's 600. That's $4,000, right? Let's say you go to 1,000. We're talking about $20,000 a month, guys. Now, I don't know about you. But I know about me. If it took me, let's look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get to 1,000 people on my team and a total of 3,000 customers. It took me 5 years to do that. And I'm making an extra $20,000 a month. Is it worth it? Is it worth a 5-year sacrifice to be at $20,000 a month? I don't know about you, but my answer to that is yes. Right? And this is what we're doing here. See, this is what the Singletons are doing. That's why they were able to hit bronze in 30 days. That's why they're going to duplicate that effort and probably hit silver this month. That's why by the end of the first leadership period, they'll probably be gold. Right? We're talking about in 6 months, guys. 6 months, the Singletons will probably be no less than about $6,000 a month. Probably at the end of their first year, they'll probably be somewhere between $12,000 and $20,000 a month. Why? Because they're a duplication nation. All we're doing is teaching people how to duplicate, and we'll take care of that in another training. But guess what, guys? Look here. These are the different options that you have to get started, right? You got your 50-point pack, which is the builder pack, which is $175 all the way up to your 400-point pack, which is $1,120, right? And why is that so important? I tell you, get started at the highest possible level. Why? Because that's going to give you everything you need to be successful, right? I don't know a McDonald's owners around that started their business with the bare minimum. They need enough to take them through to be successful immediately. That's why they go through McDonald's University. And we're going to come back and we're going to go through a training. I'm going to let the Singletons go through that training for you. And it's going to probably take about 10 minutes for us to go through that training. But listen up, guys. Join us today. Start living your dreams. Not tomorrow, but today. Why is that so important? Because if you come in today, you start today, you're able to start earning today and building a future for your family tomorrow. Right? So by now, you should understand what it is that we're talking about. By now, you should see yourself in this awesome Awesome, awesome opportunity. By now, you should already be picturing what you want your income to look like in the next 12 to 18 months, right? By now, you should already know, right? 3 types of people that look at this opportunity. The first type of person says, guess what? I love what you're talking about from the product standpoint. I want to take advantage of the products. The second type of person just simply says, I got some questions. And if that's you, you want to get your questions answered here. The third type of person says, guess what? Let me let you in on a little secret, guys. I'm ready to go. It's all good. You could have shut up a long time ago. But I'm ready to get going, right? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the 2s and the 3s, the folks that's ready to, actually, we're looking for all 3 of them. Whether you want to be a customer or whether you want to become flat out 50 rich, we want you here with us, right? Because that's what we do. We show people how to generate wealth, right? We're talking about a duplication nation here, right? And if we can show you how to duplicate, then we can show you how to live your life on an unbelievable level. See, this is what I know about lifestyle. Life is something that we all have, but style is how we choose to live it. And we choose to live it here with Sanki really, really well. You see it. Like the singletons, 30 days, bronze, right? I'm here for them to help them, support them, right? And the next time they'll do this particular presentation 100% by themselves. But guess what? 30 days, they're here. They're ready to go. And they've already stepped up to the forefront to lead, right? That's why I love this company. So guess what, guys? We're going to go ahead on. We're going to break for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back. And then we're going to allow the singletons to let you know how to get your business started right, guys. Absolutely get your business started right. So once again, we're going to be getting started in about another 5 minutes, guys. And then we'll only be here for about another 10 minutes. All right, guys. Welcome back. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys that are still plugged in. And I know you got some guests on. That's why you're still plugged in. So we're going to jump right into this training. I'm going to turn it over to, excuse me, guys, for coughing. I'm going to turn it over to the singletons so they can just go through this training with you guys in about the next 5 or 10 minutes, just to show you what you need to do to be successful in this business. So we're going to talk about, excuse me, launching your business the right way. So Mr. Singleton, the floor is absolutely yours, sir. We're going to talk about launching your business the right way.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
First step with Sanki. First of all, finding your why. Let's talk about your why. A lot of times people think about how, but your how don't even matter until you establish your why. Once you establish your why becomes like armor to a knight. To no matter what comes your way, no matter what happened, you're focused. And that word focus is follow one course until successful. But your why determines that. Your why sets everything into place. Not, and if your why don't make you cry, if it don't bring tears to your eyes, it may not be your why. My part of my why is I want to make sure that my wife, no matter what should happen to me, that she's in a great place financially, spiritually, socially, just the whole nine. The same thing with my children, which is just a part of my why. Then make your list. You want to make your list, and then after you make that list, you want to qualify the list. You want to talk to those people that you would never share this with, because no matter what they talk about, no matter how much money they're making, or no matter what their income look like, those people need to take care of their health, because their health is our first wealth. So when you make that list, you build it long and you build it strong. Then you want to invite, right? Ask the question, But when you do the invite, it's simple. You seen the presentation today. Don't mix the invitation with the presentation. Let the invite be just that, short and simple to the point. Asking them to take a look, man, you got to see what I saw. Just come take a look. Let me get your opinion. Simple as that. And we talk about the sharing content, also sharing content, sharing sample. You look at Facebook. Facebook became a giant company because somebody shared, because somebody spoke out. All these companies, major things happen when things share. Sanki is the company because people share. We gave a handful of people a sample and they're like, man, we got to do this. We got to have more. And they give a handful of people samples. And those people came back and those people gave a handful of sample. You know, we didn't have to give them to, we got a large team, but we only gave the samples to a handful of people who did what we did. You know, follow up and close. Reality is the fortune is in the follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. Get back with them. Training and support, team building and training. You know, Sanki has put so many things in place. As you see now, you'll be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You know, to help on the with the train building, and whether it's in Spanish, whether it's in English, you got help. You're not by yourself, right? The conference call is on a whole nother level. You know, as you see now, the webinars, you know, are endless, no matter where you are. They answer the question to the point. They're personal, and we have webinars like another webinar. Our webinars are communication, you know, and then company events. You know, the company has set it up in more ways than one to get the information to you, to make sure that you have it. Not only that you have it, that you understand it. You know, training and support. You know, check your emails. Things will come through your emails. You know, we're able to do this. We really don't have a home-based business. We got a phone-based business, you know, with using the tools and whatnot. All over, make it easy to access social media. You know, things have moved from brick and mortar to click and order. You know, Walmart makes most of its money through the internet. Then we had a digital kit that's just, you know, it's just brilliant how it's put together. Have the Sanki mobile app, you know, be a part of the distribution group, you know. It's set up just plain, you know, everything, all of it is done for you. And the welcome book is just a, you know, just a no-brainer, bringing everybody in and getting them acclimated to what's going on. You know, training and support at a glance. You know, one-tap access to training. You know, promotions, special events, and weekly basis. You know, it's just on a whole nother level. Sanki Share app, get started video, right? We have that to make it plain for you. Share content, share samples, enroll distributors and customers. Yes. Maximize your earnings. Step one, be on auto ship. You know, people who are serious to get on auto ship, you know, and place that order. You know, things don't happen when you're in the business. It happens when the business is in you. Definitely take place. Minimize retail power. Step two, get 3 customers. Let me tell you something. You know, you can find 3 customers. If you can't find 3 customers, I don't know what to say to you. You won't be able to bury it because it takes 6 people to bury it. You know, we sit on a planet with over 7, almost 8 billion people. You'll find 3 customers. Matter of fact, they'll come looking for you when they see you looking like a walking billboard. Like I was blessed that Sanki did it for me with 60 pounds lost. Step 3, achieve duplication. You know, duplicator rank. Oh my God, that right there will bring you all the way through the top level. Mr. Trahan made that plain to me and showed me that, and it was just magic to be able to do that for myself and then have other people well on their way. Gain access to the global pool and rank benefits. Dynamics of Sanki, very simple, fun, and duplicatable. Duplicatable is where it'll change your life, or change your perspective. Take action now. What better time than right now? You know, dynamic success. 1, launch call. Man, that launch call is just on a whole nother level. We seem to do our launch calls and people grab on, you know, and then we encourage other people to do that launch call, you know, and it's just a whole nother level. That launch call is just powerful to launch your business. You want to start your business, you want to launch it. And the private Zooms, we had people from corporate, people from otherwise that were in line to do private Zooms for us. Those things are powerful. So no matter what happened, like the economy, everything shut down, everybody was at home, that private Zoom will still put gas on your business and help it to take off, you know. 3, plugging into the system. Look, the word system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. And plugging in. You stay plugged in. We got a customer service that's like none. We got the corporate people that are like on a whole nother level that are working towards our success. You know, so you plug in, you plug and play, you know. And it's just a whole nother level. You can't get power unless you stay plugged in. And we have every single thing within this company that you need to stay plugged in and to stay powered up to move forward. You know, the dynamics of success. Certified distributor, get 1 customer. You know, binary qualified start, get 1 customer and 2 distributors. You know, number three, must achieve the binary on auto ship. You know, with 500 points. Man, it's too easy. You know, it's like cooking by the numbers. You know, one, you turn on the stove. Two, you start the water to boiling for 3 minutes. Three, you put the egg in the pot. Four, you take it out and let it cool. It's like cooking by the numbers. They Sanki have thought of it all to put it in place and to simplify, keep it keep it super simple. Be a part of this movement. You know, this is not just something that took place. This is a movement. You know, the minute I saw what took place in my health, my wife and I agreed that we could not have had this kind of success, and God have blessed us like this and not share it with people. You know, they are paying me to do what we do for free. You know, how to make money, Sanki on the go. You know, be a product of the product. That's right. We're a product of the product. You know, we took it first. We seen what it had to do and still taking it, going to be taking it. Be a product of the product. It don't happen when you get into this. It happens when it get into you. You know, number two, sharing Sanki success story. Just tell a story. Just tell what took place. You know, facts tell, stories sell. You know, inspire others to look better, feel better. What better way to live your life than to inspire people on to look better and to feel better? You know, Sanki on the go, 5 easy steps. Number one, connect. Connect. The whole world is connected from their device, from the house. 2, share content. Let others know, hey, like I did, it took place 60 pounds. Hey, from 4 shots to 1 or 2 shots every now and then. You know, share samples. You know, let people try it. You know, if they try it, they coming back. I've seen it over and over. You know, number 4, retail power. You know, to put a little bit in and get a whole lot out. You know, you gotta, if you treat it like a business, they'll treat you like a business. The only thing you can make McDonald's money, you just don't have to spend McDonald's money to get into it. Number 5, duplicate. Duplicate. Duplication rule of nation. Congratulations, you'll be on your way to experience a healthy and wealthy lifestyle. Are you ready to start living your dreams today? Are you ready to start living your dreams today on your own, on the way that you feel like you should do it, not with how everybody else feel like you should do it, or the herd mentality?
Boy, let me tell you something, guys. I'm over here with tears in my eyes, man. Oh man, Mr. Singleton, let me tell you something, sir. I absolutely appreciate and love what you brought to the table tonight. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me turn my camera back on so you can see my emotions. And I apologize for having my ball cap on and all that stuff. But today was a crazy day for me. My son and I had to go get COVID tested. My wife tested positive for COVID. But let me tell you something, guys. We're not around here just debilitated over in pain. I've had a serious headache and a little bit of a cough. But guess what? Other than that, I'm not suffering the ill effects of that nasty virus, right? My wife had a sore throat and body aches, but guess what? She not doubled over in pain. All my son suffered is fatigue. So listen, let me tell you something. What I just saw tonight, what Mr. Singleton just did is just proving what we have in place is absolutely working. 100%. Absolutely working. Why do I know it's working? When you go from 0 to bronze in 30 days by following exactly what we tell you to do, you can have the success of all the platinums that are on this line, right? We had Dr. David Algantar on the line, guys, who's a double diamond, maybe triple diamond in the business. But guess what? It all starts with duplicator. If he didn't build duplicators, he wouldn't get to where he is. So what we're telling you to do is simply build duplicators, become a duplication nation, and you'll duplicate your efforts, duplicate your business, and duplicate your income. So guess what, guys? It is my pleasure to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Singleton. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. I love your leadership, and I'm going to ask you to be back here next Friday night to do this again. But guess what? I'm going to step all the way back and let you do what you do, because I learned so much from you tonight, sir. It is my pleasure to be able to help and assist with everything that you're doing, guys. We're building some fantastic things here. Sanki on the go, Sanki Global, Sanki Network. We're doing all that we have to do to build this business and absolutely help you duplicate the business for yourself. So with that being said, guys, I'd like to say God bless, take care, take charge, and we look forward to seeing you again on our next Zoom. And we will have the lineup for next week where we have more incredible leaders that it'll be coming to the forefront, guys, more. So stay tuned, be ready, be amazed at what we have coming to the forefront for you guys. God bless, take care, take charge. You guys have a blessed evening.